Thank you for volunteering. Today we're going to learn how to correctly fill out a scorebook. So we have a couple players here, Ryan, J, K, M, P, S, A, say B, and R. Okay, so there's our 9-player lineup. When you fill it out, you'll do first and last name and the player's number as well. So we have our first player here, Ryan. We're going to say that he reaches first base. All right, so he's reached first base. Our second player, Jay, he walked, so he reached first base. Well, Ryan now has to move to second base, so he will slide over. Our third player, K, strikes out, so they actually get a K, right? This is how you write a strikeout, K. And then you will do this. You'll do a 1, and you'll circle it. This will signify this is your first out and help you keep track of who is out and who has scored. Now we have our third batter, M. Well, M has now reached first base. That means J has gotten here, but Ryan actually got out at third here. So you would draw a little bit of a line, not all the way, and then stop. And then you're going to go, as we talked about, this is going to be 2, and circle it, okay? So we have our first out and our second out. We have M at first and J at second. Now P gets up, and P ends up getting a home run, okay? So he's going to come all the way around. Well, not only did he come around, but M came around, and so did J. So when you get here, what you want to do is you want to shade in these boxes slightly, and this will indicate that that run has scored. So you have 2, 3, and then we're going to say S, he gets up, and then he strikes out. Well, he struck out, and he wasn't swinging, so it's going to be a backwards K, and we're going to do our third out, and we're going to circle it. So that's 3. So right under here is where we're going to draw our line. This indicates to us that the inning is over. All right. So when we come back the next inning, when A is up, A will start and you will score here. So before we get to that, we need to count how many runs we scored. We have 1, 2, 3 runs. So down here on the bottom of your score sheet, you're going to put a 3. This will help you keep track of how many runs are scored per inning. In the top of the second, and A is up. A comes up. They reach first base, right? B comes up. B strikes out. So you're going to go here. That's going to be a K. They were swinging, and we're going to do what? We're going to put a 1 and then circle it to indicate out number 1. And R comes up, and they don't reach first base. Let's say they hit into a double play, all right? So this first out, A gets out going to second, so that's going to be out number 2, all right? And then R gets out going to first, so it's going to be out number 3. And circle it. And then again, we're going to draw our line so we know where the inning ended. And then when we get to the top of the third, Ryan will be your batter. And when you get to the end of the game, you want to calculate all of your scores. So again, they scored 0 on this. And let's say they scored 0 here and 0 in the fourth. And then we've reached the time limit. So the final score for the Diamondbacks on this side would be 3. And then you would flip the book over and look at how many runs are scored on the other side. So we're going to say on the other side, they didn't score any runs today. So the final score will be 3-0. Remember to have all umpires sign the book at the end of it. So all of these score sheets come in a book. So you'll just have them come in and they'll sign their initials just to make sure that it's verified and everything's good. And again, we thank you for stepping up and volunteering to do a scorebook for Flagler Babe Ruth baseball and softball.